What's up, everybody? I'm Danny Vaughn right here. We're coming to you live with an audio reaction. And right now, we're going to react to The Jack off AC/DC's High Voltage album. You know, if you're a good lyricist or a poet or whatever, you have to admit one thing: the double entendre always sells, doesn't it? All throughout this song, I love the blues influence. Well, they said it was about a dirty woman. They weren't kidding, were they? Yeah, if you get that, yeah, it is a bad deal. People seem to behave themselves. Yeah, it's like I heard one time a long time ago. Young man, if you ever date a woman, you better check her out real quickly, real thoroughly. Many folks got married to each other that sure would have, and everything else in between. I'm just being honest. I'm not for sure if that was Angus or Bond screaming, but either way it goes, it's hilarious. Well, I tell you what, I'm glad he's got a sense of humor and stuff. Because you have to admit, back in the day when you caught something like that, well, let's do a little bit of a deep dive here, real quick. I'm going to read you an article. And this right here, this website, Fuzzfaced. Many of AC/DC's fans will have noticed that in their concerts, the Young Brothers use a different text for their Jack, a song extracted from the Australian version of TNT. The Jack in the title is declared by the band members as Australian slang for gonorrhea, a sexually transmitted disease that Angus and company had to deal with at the beginning of their careers. Immediately after the release of their first album, High Voltage, in 1974, they all went to live together in Melbourne. First at the Octagon Hotel, then in a house in Lansdowne Road, near the red light district. Well, there you go. Shortly after, the house was filled with all types, ashtrays, and people going around in their underwear, therefore becoming an object of the police's attention. You think? However, as soon as the agents realized that the tenants were just young musicians interested in only getting into girls' pants, they stopped making visits. Really? In fact, as Malcolm recalls in an old interview with Sylvie Simmons, the prostitutes got to know us. A lot of them would come around. All sorts of women would show up because we were young and in a band. There'd be a knock on the door at 3 a.m, and a bunch of waitresses just off work would be there with bottles of booze, a bag of dope, and everything else. The girls were very friendly with the band and would often have sex after concerts, particularly with Bond. Well, yeah, lead singer. Yeah, that usually happened. But also with Mark and Phil, who were better looking than the two Young Brothers. All this went on without protection since AIDS was not yet heard of. It was in the wake of these nocturnal rampages and democratically shared women that the Jack came about. In an interview with rock journalist Murray Engelhart, Malcolm Young recalls that he was playing with Bon Scott when he got a note from a girl who accused him of giving her gonorrhea. We were all having a sing-along with the guitars, and I got this note from this chick in Melbourne accusing me of giving her a dose of the clap or the Jack, and I never had it. So I thought, hang on a minute. This chick's fucking giving it to me then, if anything. He gave the note to Bon and began playing the blues. In that moment, the singer, who was still laughing about what had just happened, began teasing Malcolm by singing along. She's got the jack. Dun, 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 dun. She's got the jack. How about that? A few days later, when all seemed forgotten during the band rehearsal, Bon Scott started singing the same verses again to the tune of Slow Blues, and the song began to take shape. However, the origin of the song seems to be a little different according to what Bon reported in an interview with Sounds in 1976. Since the band's singer saw prostitutes in that period, he had gonorrhea. Although he knew he was infected, one day in the Melbourne house, he had unprotected sex with a girl. Immediately after, this girl had sex with Phil, who was in the next room, involuntarily giving him gonorrhea too. A few days later, Phil got a request for compensation for the girl's medical expenses because she thought he had given her the disease. Ew. That just sounds nasty. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm not going to read the rest of the article and stuff because, quite frankly, I don't want to get grossed up more than I already have been. But it's amazing, boy, how songs start off. Some songs actually start off as jokes, and they wind up as that. Well, anyway, I figured I'd go and give an auto reaction and try to have some humor and stuff today. But like I say, hey, I'm starting again. I'm getting back in the game. Help a country boy out. Subscribe. Smash that like button. Give me a thumbs up. Helps the algorithm. Spread the word if you can. Nice. It's all y'all's good names. And a shout out to, of course, my good friend Kevin Dobson out of Canada. Boss, give me some Canadian groups. I greatly appreciate it. And albums. All right. So, guys, with that, I'll see you on the flip side. See ya.